The Centenary City project was initiated in 2014 by President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, and the concept was to build a city like Dubai right here in Abuja. What makes this project unique is that it's going to be a tourism hub, it's going to be an investment hub, to attract foreign direct investment, and it's also a free zone. Meaning that if you live here, you work here, or you do business here, you're exempted from paying government taxes. If you look at this picture, this is what the city is going to look like when it's fully built. It's a 15-year project. In terms of implementation, but we're just in the third year of implementation right now. Yeah, so we have about 12 years to go. And in the middle of the city, we have this tower here. It's called the African Tower.
African Tower?
Yes, it's going to be the tallest building in Africa by the time it's built. It's going to be about 93 floors.
Wow.
Yes, and it's going to be mixed use, partly commercial, partly residential. So you have hotels, businesses, residences right inside the building. And then you might even have some penthouse suites at the very, very top. Yes. And it is located right in the middle of the city. We even have shopping mall facing it somewhere around this location here. If you look at this picture, you would see that the tower is right here, and then you have the shopping mall facing it, and we even have a water fountain in the middle. The concept is to utilize the river. We have a river that cuts the city into two. It's called the Whooper River. Whooper River. It cuts in from Kiami into Centenary City down to Kuje. So we intend to dredge our part here and then have a water fountain here, because right in the middle of the city we're going to have luxury retail shops, restaurants where people can come sit down, enjoy themselves. The concept is to build a city like Dubai, where you can come, relax, enjoy yourself, where foreigners can come, tourists can visit Nigeria and have a good time. No more going to South Africa or Botswana. We should talk about promoting Nigeria. And in my opinion, I think that Abuja is the next big thing, because Lagos is already jam-packed already. Although they're trying to expand, but you see, the population density in Lagos is so high that even if they add Ogun State, it will help. It will help much. It will help much. So, and Abuja already has the template for a modern city. The way it's designed, the way things are arranged, the way the infrastructure, it has been developed. And it has the propensity to expand further, So Centenary City would be the icing on the cake, to this modern city, because we are looking at this city being the new Abuja, because we're trying to use it to change the narrative. We're talking about building a new Nigeria. We're tired of having people saying, Nigerians are scammers, Nigerians are dupes. When we have a lot of professionals, if you go to the US, you go to the UK, the best doctors, the best lawyers, the best IT professionals are Nigerians, and they are doing well all over the world. So we're saying, if you want to come to Africa, Nigeria should be one of the key points, the key areas, for you to look at if you want to invest. And then we talk about the diaspora community, which is actually almost $1 trillion community. And these people have been abroad for many years, and they're looking at ways to connect with Africa, to connect with the motherland. We're saying when they come back, where do you want to put them? You need somewhere that is not too far from what they are used to, so that when they come, it feels like home. And that is where Centenary City comes in. So we are home to a lot of diasporans, looking at coming back home, coming to invest, to have their retirement homes here. So Centenary City creates that enabling environment, where you can easily drive your Porsche or your Lamborghini and not feel, you can't drive Lamborghini in Oka or, because you become an instant target. But in Centenary City is normal. We're even going to have about 2-3 companies that will be producing electric vehicles right here in Centenary City. We have about 2 Chinese companies, and about last week we had an indigenous EV company coming in, and we're looking at signing a deal with them to have them produce most of these EVs right here. So we have a lot of electric vehicles right here in Centenary City. So that is the concept of this city, Yeah. Now, talking about how far we've gone with the project. The project, first of all, is on 1,300 hectares of land.
Wow.
Yeah. And that is a lot of land indeed, And this is actually the airport road, and this is the Kuje road. So this entire expanse of land is Centenary City. So all the way from Goza to Kuje, and the tallest building, like I said, the African Tower, is located right here in the middle. Yeah, and then we have the shopping mall facing it. Now this is the Whooper River that cuts the city into two, right here. So we're going to dredge it and have the water fountains here. So I'm tired of having people saying we're going to Dubai just to look at the fountain. They're going to have the dancing fountain right here, in the middle of the Centenary City. Now, how do we intend to implement this project? So for the first phase of the project, it's going to be hotels and apartments and parks and a bit of residential. And that is actually where we're working on right now. And then on the second phase, it's going to be mixed use, partly commercial, partly residential. And then the third phase is going to be the industrial and then the core commercial projects. So you see, everything is already pre-programmed. Now, one of the advantages of investing in Centenary City is that the city has already been pre-planned. One of my clients had a concern, and he said he bought a plot in Lagos, and after like 6 months, when he was about to develop the plot, he now realized that the plot in front of his house has just been changed to a church. And he said, one of the reasons why I told you people that I want to buy this particular plot is that I don't want to have any religious organization around, because usually religious organizations, they tend to abuse privileges like noise pollution, parking issues, and all that. So I don't want a church around. And this other story that they've changed it. So you see, in Centenary City, those kind of surprises cannot emerge, because you see, the way it's designed in the master plan, if this is going to be a residential area, it will remain a residential area. You can't wake up tomorrow and hear that all of a sudden there's now a church or a mosque or something like that. So you have that kind of security. And then secondly is that Centenary City will have C of O for the entire land. So you have no issues going to FCDA to go and fight anybody for to know if the land documents are genuine. It's a public-private sector-driven initiative. So we're working hand in hand with the FCDA, with NEBSA, with Nigerian Customs, because even as we speak now, we have people who can bring in containers into, so you can actually import. So if you own a property here, and you want to import things to finish your house and all those things, you can actually import directly into Centenary City, and you won't pay all those duties and all those things, taxes, import duties and all those things. So those are the advantages you are going to enjoy doing business with us here in Centenary City. We're currently working on this part of the city right now, and like I said, the first two projects are on this part, which is where we have the residential projects. This part here, I'll explain further. And then the Julius Berger Road is around this axis. The road, it's just an internal road on the boundaries of the first phase of the project to connect the airport road to the Kuje road here. So it's just like an internal road, and it's about 4.3 kilometers. The office is actually here, so this is actually where we're standing right now. This is where we're standing now. It came in from here, in here. Now, if you notice, you'll see this expanse of land here and here. Those are the green areas, which we intend not to touch. They're actually elevated hills, so we intend not to do anything, because you see, the beauty of this project is that we want to develop it in such a way that it will work hand in hand with the natural endowment of the project site. So all these places that are places where we are going to build, but these ones here, we're just going to leave them because they are hills. So within the city, you will have those hilly views and all those things. And that is part of what makes the city. And it's also green area too. So we are going to have a lot of green. We're not trying to build another Lagos here. So we want like fresh air. You can freely walk around, because sometimes all these box kind of buildings we do these days, everywhere is choked. You don't have enough air, you don't have enough green. So we are putting all those things into consideration to have a lot of green, and the buildings are properly spaced out. That's it. So this is the airport road, and that is the Kuje road over there. So we're standing somewhere here. Yes, that's our office. So we're standing from here, overlooking at the city. Now, if you look over there, you'll see these two hills here. Those are the hills you're seeing outside the window. So you can see the city goes beyond the hills, even to the back. So you see, Centenary City is not where you can just walk across. Now, from where we're standing here, we have plans to build a 5-star hotel, and we're working hand in hand with Marriott or the Address from Dubai. The concept is to build a 5-star hotel that will just be 10 minutes away from the airport, and that gives it all the advantages it needs. Because you see, people don't want to drive into town just to go and enjoy a 5-star hotel. So you can actually stay a few minutes from the airport. And in most major cities, projects you have around the airport are exquisite. Although in Lagos it's a bit different. Because they did things a bit backward in Lagos when Ikeja was actually the capital. But you see, over time the city expanded, and then you now move to Lekki, so it became a problem. If you're traveling to Lagos, and usually when I go to Lagos and my cousins drop me off, and I take a flight and I come back to Abuja, I take a shower, cook rice, eat, go to bed, sleep for 3 hours, wake up. When I call them, they're still on their way back home. Which is and is a huge concern. So imagine if you're a traveler, you traveled 15 hours, 20 hours, you land at the airport, and then you now have to drive like another 6 hours within the city for you to go from the airport to your hotel in Lekki. Is a problem. And that is why the Lagos state government are looking at building another airport, the cargo airport, at the Lekki free zone axis. All right, because you need an airport in that axis. Now for Abuja, we're a bit lucky because development started from the back, coming forward. So the airport is on this side, and then Centenary City is just 10 minutes away from the airport. So you see, that is what proper town planning does, because you bring your best part forward. It's like a carpenter, for example. The workshop is always at the back, but the showroom is in front. My uncle says it's like women too. That women, they put their best character forward. And then it's when you come in that you now know that there's a lot happening at the back, but you won't, So usually that should be the best approach when you're developing a city, that you develop from the back. Even when you go to cities like New York, even in South Korea, you hear things like, this is the new New York City, like the Manhattan is the new. So all those pre-colonial eras, you had other parts of New York, but the city has now grown to. So this is what Abuja has become. So anybody who is smart would know that in the next 4 or 5 years, this will be the new Abuja. So this is the area you should concentrate your investment in right now. Even in the Abuja master plan, Nick is doing a lot on the Kuje Road, trying to expand it to link it with the Apo axis down, and then you're also noticing that there's a lot happening in the Idu axis too. Because it will all connect to this road, which is a 6-lane road, and it will take you around. So it's like a circle. But you see, the airport is key.
Yes.
The airport is key. And if you check, most of the properties around here are almost gone. And then if you also look around this area too, you'll notice that no luxury projects around here. Yes. They're all middle class. So if you're talking to a diaspora or the big investors coming in, this is where the attention should be. Because they don't stay there, they want to go to Kuje, or they want somewhere that is in front. So call this your next Banana Island, or the Eco Atlantic, or even the Dubai. Now, from where we're standing, we're about concluding a deal with Fifth Choker, which is actually Nigeria's largest polo brand, to build a country polo club here. So it would extend from this point to the back here. Because usually for those kind of clubs, you have the small playing field and then the major playing field. So the first field will be somewhere here, and then at the back there, you'll have the second one, and they will have it's going to be like a resort kind of country club, horses and all that. But we're still in advanced talks, right now. Now, this hotel project is affiliated to this luxury estate here. So if this is going to be the address hotel, this project is going to be the address residences and villas. Because we want to create that Emirati lifestyle where you can actually own a house and enjoy hotel services right in your house. They can serve you breakfast, and when they come, they clean your house. No ekalite in this matter. You just, you come in, they serve you breakfast, if you want buffet and all that. And then in a situation where you own the property but you're not in the country, it should be able to generate revenue for you. We want to delete this notion we have that you just buy a house in Asokoro and then you lock it up for 5 years, you're looking for somebody to rent it, maybe they come and they just mess it up, and you're not getting actual returns on the investment. And then you're providing world-class infrastructure, but there's nobody there to enjoy the infrastructure. So Centenary City is going to be a bit different from the norm, so that you can have those properties there, and while you're not around, you can be making your income. And then when you come back, the house is available for you to also use. So that is the concept behind this here. And then next to it is this green area here, where we want to integrate a safari park, so that you don't have to go to Kenya or Botswana or even South Africa. But not harmful animals. Because if you tell some people they are lions, they don't come. So we're just going to have herbivorous animals, like elephant, giraffe, antelopes, and all that. So we're looking at a situation where our children can have access to these things. They can see an antelope, they can see elephants, zebras, and we're working in partnership with a South African firm to handle that project here. So we're even going to have tents and chalets that people can rent to stay, to create content, to shoot movies, within the safari park. And that is actually where we got the motivation for our second project called the Safari Park Residences. Yes, because the estate is not far from the safari park. Over there. And then next to the safari park, we have an amusement park here. This is going to be about 40 hectares of land just for an amusement park. So it's probably going to be the largest amusement park or theme park in this part of in the West African sub-region, basically. And then we're in talks with some major brands, especially the American brands, to start this project very soon. So, and all this is the first phase of the project, and that was why I told you that the first phase is geared towards attracting traffic, attracting the right attention, first, before you now start talking about why come and invest.
Now I am bringing you a beautiful opportunity to invest, own, or live in Centenary City, which is becoming one of Abuja's best spots to live right now. You've seen what it is all about and what you can get living here, and the project has commenced strongly. So if you want to be part of this community, you want to invest here, own houses, or you simply want to buy out plots where you can have your own house here in Nigeria, Abuja, then feel free to reach out to me on the number on the screen and I'll help you get something right here. Cheers, enjoy your good life.